Today we're giving digital photos that nice, dreamy analog look with Dehancer. What is going on? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is sponsored by the wonderful folks over at Dehancer. So you may remember a while back I did a video for the Dehancer app for Premiere Pro. Today we are going over the Lightroom / Photoshop plugin, which is in essence the same concept. It's the same overall thing, but this one is for stills rather than video. So I've chosen 5 photos to go over and kind of work these in real time and get a decent film look, hopefully a really good film look. I've been using it for a few weeks already, so I have a good idea of what I like to do. So we're gonna hop into Lightroom and go over kind of some of the things I like to go over as far as like different settings and different things I like to use, so on and so forth. So let's do that. Okay, so we're in Lightroom. I have my 5 photos here. They're photos that I've had in my archive. I believe I've posted all of these, but it'd be nice to see the different route that I take as far as editing in Dehancer goes to get that nice grainy analog look that I like so much. I do shoot a ton of film, so I can kind of give a one-to-one opinion as far as like what the different looks are, but let's be completely honest. We're doing this for a look, not necessarily to completely copy what film does, but to get a nice analog look. And I think that's where the Dehancer app for Photoshop and Lightroom comes in handy, really. It's great to get that nice look, that nice grain, and a couple other things that I really like that I kind of mentioned in my last video about the Dehancer video app. But let's get back to editing photos. So these 5 photos, they were all taken with different cameras, I believe. So let me go over the different shots. I think this one was the I think this was the M6 Mark II. This one was a GoPro. This one's the GoPro Hero 10 Black. This one was the Canon R6. This one was the Canon R6, and then I think this one again was the M6 Mark II. So just a nice range of different cameras to use, just to kind of show you it doesn't necessarily matter what camera you use. It's just kind of about what you want to do and what kind of look you want to achieve with the final product. So first one, this is Reunion Tower. I took this a while back. It was fairly dark. I had my camera on a tripod, so hence the somewhat decent clarity on this. Plus, I ran all these through denoise to kind of clear up some of the grainy kind of modeledness that comes with higher ISO, lower light photos. But that is to give me a cleaner palette to put on some noise and some grain in the Dehancer app. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with this one, and I'm going to go ahead and edit it in Dehancer photo. We're going to do a copy with Lightroom adjustments. So let's do that. And now we're in the Dehancer editing app itself. So you can tell that I kind of have a thing for Cinestill 800T because it's my last edited one. But let's go through and let's start with the original, because I don't think I want to use that setup, that preset on this one per se. But I want something a little bit more darker and a little bit more moody. So we're gonna go through these different presets that came included with the software. Let's see how Portra 400 Gloomy looks. I'm just gonna click. Let's see, a little too bloomy for me. So let's try Kodak Portra 400 with Endura. And you know what? I kind of like this. I'm gonna turn off the preview real quick. So that's what we had. And this is what we have now with the preset installed. With the preset applied. Sorry about that. I kind of like this. I like how much more the overall frame is darker, but you can see the lights a little bit better. Let's go back. So yeah, this is a little bit hot. Granted, I wanted something that was going to be a little bit more leeway. So I think that works out pretty well. So we're going to go in and we're going to check some of these on the side. So there's so much you can go through and kind of fine tune, and you can spend a lot of time getting a certain look that you might want, or develop your own preset and save it. That way you can just throw them on all your photos if you want to. But one of my favorite things to do is just to kind of go through and see how things look and seeing which ones I like, because I don't have a set style per se for analog look, this digital to analog look, if you will. So I like to just kind of click around and see how everything looks. Actually, that's kind of neat too. I don't like how muted everything got, but that's pretty neat. Fuji Instax. That explains a bit. Now that does definitely look like a Instax photo. But let's here, instead of spending too much time going through every preset, let's go ahead and go back to Portrait 400 and plus Enduro. So I think that's a print, if you will. So let's go here. I'm going to pretty much keep everything as it is. I'm going to maybe check on the film developer and see what happens. So we get a little bit more contrast boost. Ooh, I kind of like that. Let's keep that a little bit darker. So we're going to boost that contrast, color separation, color boost. I don't know if I want to boost any of the color, but nah, not a fan. We'll keep it at 0. So I'm going to 0 this back out. Film compression. Let's see what film compression did for that particular preset. So that is off and that is on. So it kind of dropped the highlights a bit. I do like that. So we're going to keep that. Expand, what did expand do? It added a slight bit of brightness to it. It didn't boost the whites, it just kind of boosted the brightness, if you will. So I think this is kind of where the tone comes from as far as this specific preset goes. Yeah, because right now that kind of looks about the same. Oh, actually it does not. That's pretty good. I kind of like that. But it does add a nice little kind of boost in color a little bit. And kind of, that doesn't flatten everything, but it does a good job. I like it. So here's the thing. We're going to skip all the way through. Here's the thing I really wanted to get to was the film grain. So I do like a little bit of grain in my photos, my personal photos anyway. So I want to get in here and see what kind of grain we can work with, because adding too much is going to junk it up when you post it. Adding too little, you're not even going to notice. So it's kind of pointless if you don't add enough. You got to find that in between, if you will. So let's bump this up to, let's say, 5. Okay, kind of digging that. See, the thing is, when you're zoomed in, you can see it a little bit better. So here's off. You can tell. On. You can tell much more. But when you zoom out, that's kind of the, that's where you start to lose it, and it just kind of starts to look like a regular photo. So I want enough to see it, but I don't want so much so that where it comes overbearing, or it just doesn't look very good, or it gets just all garbaged up when you post it to like Instagram or whatnot. So we're gonna bump this to, let's say, 15. Let me see how that looks. Oh, I do like how 15 looks, so we might stick with that. So let's see. Is film grain on, film grain off, back on. Okay, I don't mind that. I think I'm gonna go up to 25. Let me see how 25 looks. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now, I don't know how much of this is gonna come through with YouTube's compression, but it's got a nice kind of soft grain to it, not overdone, really nice. I kind of like the overall look of this. So let's see, that's how we are now, and that's before. So this, honestly, if I would have dropped it down, I probably would add a little bit of grain, maybe put a vignette around the whole thing, and then that's what I would have posted. In fact, it's closer to what I posted like this than it is just kind of just me hitting auto and then dropping a little bit of the highlights. So honestly, this is a lot closer to what the final photo ended up looking like a while back. But I do like this, so we're gonna save this. So I'm just gonna hit OK. Should be done. Now we are in Lightroom, or back in Lightroom. So we have the before and we have the after. I do dig this. I like this one. This one would probably make a decent print. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is a long exposure. I feel like it was last year. It was obviously some cold time. But yeah, it's a nice little underground tunnel, and it had been raining forever. Anyway, that's the story. Let's go ahead and do the same thing. So we're gonna open this in Dehancer photo, edit a copy with Lightroom adjustments, And here we are. So I think I want to try to brighten this one up a little bit. Let's take a look and see what kind of preset we can use. Oh, that monochrome purple. Okay, hold on. We'll do that one in a sec. I have one of the green ones that had a lot more green to it, like the grass and the trees and all that. I think we're going to test out monochrome purple for that. I got real excited for a sec. Let's try Fuji Eterna 5500 Kodak Endura glossy paper. I don't mind this one. Let's see before. So here's before, after. I do like, honestly, I like that as is. It added a nice little bit of halation to it looks like. So let's, no, that's good. I like that. Actually, that was super simple. One more time. Before. Decent photo before, not gonna lie. After though, that's pretty good. I like the grain and everything. And the bloom, it's got a nice little bloom to it. So let's check the bloom. Full grain, what are you at? You're at 33. So 33 seems like a pretty decent spot. Halation is on. Bloom is on. So let's check out the halation work that it did. I'm going to put it in mask mode and it's going to show you where exactly the halations are targeted, which is pretty darn neat. The same thing goes for the bloom. So let's do the bloom. Put that in mask mode and we'll see. I really can't see any bloom. Not on here anyway. Let's try amplify. See if we kind of, I don't know if that's going to show up on YouTube's compression, but there's a tiny amount that it's adding right there. So let's go with that. Let's see how that looks. I do dig it. It's very subtle, but I love it. Okay. I'm going to call this one good, to be honest. Yeah, let's go with that one. So we have the after and we have the before. Both good in my opinion. But I do kind of dig that film style look for that one. That's not something I would have a very hard time getting this look on film. So that's pretty cool. All right, next one, a little bit more light for this one. Sorry about the super dark ones, but I tend to go out at night to shoot when it's, not work related. So same thing. Let's pop this into, where am I going? There it is. Dehancer photo. Edit with Lightroom adjustments. And we're back for this one. Let's try, I don't know. Let's go through. I don't want to do monochrome purple yet, but let's see. Vision 3 200T. I use a lot of thin still when I'm shooting film, so this is kind of my alley. I kind of do like it though. I don't know. Let's see what the other ones are. Kodachrome. Ooh, that's dark and moody. I lose all my shadow detail, but that's still a mood. How about, I know it's a blue sky and it's a blue plane and it's got nice green leaves, but let's do black and white. Okay, that's not bad. That's a little bit more moody. I like the Kodak, well, the XX. I use a lot of Cinestill, again, also black and white. I do like that. I think we might do that. Let's try Ilford. Ilford's that's a little too grainy for me, but XP2, I kind of like. Let's see. Oh man, I'm getting so distracted, which is typical. That's different. Okay. That has a vibe. I think I can use that for something else, but let's try HP5. Honestly, I like HP5. I think I'm gonna stick with this and we'll do a little bit of tweaking. So we're gonna see if I can bring up some of those shadows. So we're gonna drop this down. I actually like that. Let's go with that. We're gonna keep that there. And I tend to drop my highlights a lot just because I don't like things being blown out. But I also, on the other side of that, I do bring up my shadows quite a bit because I don't like seeing super dark blacks and super blown out highlights. So I try to kind of flatten everything out a little bit and then I'll add contrast. But that's besides the point. Let's do compression and see if I can bring that white point to somewhere I like. That's actually a little too muted for me, so you know what? We're gonna give it more contrast. So we're gonna bump this to, yeah, right there to 50. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Let's see what the impact does when I raise it. Not so much there. We'll stick with that. I think I'm going to bring this back. Get a little bit more of that matte look, and I want to see a bit more of that detail in that plane. So let's, ooh, look at that. I like that. For the grain, let's check out the grain real quick. So I kind of want to do 35 based off of, oh, there we go. That is pretty awesome. Okay, hold on. Now, I think if I post this, I think Instagram might kind of jumble it up a little bit. So I might dial this one back. Let's try 25. Oh, that's great. Is there a vignette? Let's add a vignette. So let's bring it down. That's a little too much. Let's bring the size up. I want the center to be nice and exposed, but let's bring down some of those corners if I can. Oh, a little too much. Right there. Okay, there we go. So I did that, but I do think it's a little bit on the dark side right now. So let me bring the exposure comp up. There we go. No, that's perfect. I like that a ton. All right, we're gonna hit OK. Bring it in Lightroom. So it's saving that copy. It's basically updating the TIFF copy to this. All right, so let's see the after and the before. Wow, that's bananas. Such a different tone. I love it. Okay, moving on. All right, I did take a few photos of the basketball hoop. I haven't posted them yet, I don't think, but maybe we should run those at some point and post them and see how stereotypical I can be with digital to analog. Okay, here we go. Edit in Dehancer photo. You know the drill. Okay, holy cow, that looks pretty sick. That's a black and white. I kind of want to keep it like that. Here's what we're doing. We're going to do Lomochrome purple. Here we go. Oh, I love it. I'm not too keen on people that don't like the gimmick films. I love the gimmick films. It's so much fun and such a different thing to do and such a different way to use film and photography. I love it. So to have a quick and easy way to do that to my digital photos. Oh, I guess I could apply this to my film photos too. Interesting. It's just great. I love it. So honestly, let's keep it like this. I think we'll bump up the exposure comp a little bit to make it just a smidge brighter. And then I am going to, let's do the film compression, and I want to bring down some of those highlights a little bit. There we go. How about kind of right there? Man, it does such a good job of mimicking Lomochrome purple. I have such a hard time saying that. All right, here we're gonna check all these other guys here. I kind of like the way this is. I think again, I probably want to. Yeah, I like 25 as far as film grain goes. Sorry if I'm just kind of jumping back and forth, but again, distracted easily. I like that. But no, that's perfect. Holy cow, that looks. The film grain effect that it does is so gosh dang good. I love it. Anyway, yeah, that's perfect. I love this. Do I want to do anything? I don't think I want to do anything else. We're going to keep it just like that. We're back in Lightroom. Here's the after. There's the before. Last one, guys. Here we go. This one, I have a specific preset in mind already. Yeah, you might guess what it is, but let's go through, open it up in Dehancer. Okay, definitely not Lomochrome purple. But where is it? Oh, I can use vision. Oh, that'd be cool too. Let me see how this looks right quick. I like mood. No, okay, here's what we're doing. We're going all the way to, unless I passed it, I might have passed it already. I think I did, so let's go back up. Portrait, Kodak, Konica, what is that? Oh, easily distracted. Here we go. 800T, perfect. All right, so I'm going to, once again, film compression, bring down those highlights a little bit. Too bad. I do want exposure comp up a little bit. Oh, not that high. You know what? Yeah, I think it was good where it was. Actually, here. Let's just nudge a little bit. Okay, we'll call it good right there. Now, let's do a little bit of expand. There we go. That's kind of what I want to, that's kind of where I want to get my brightness to. Okay. Now, let's see how this looks without print tab on. No, that's good. I like how gold it made it. All right, so here is where I want to kind of dive in a little bit deeper. Let's check the halations. So nothing really showing up except around the edges of the lights. I don't think that's going to show through on the video, but let's bump this up a bit more. So we're going to amplify. Oh, let's just go over the top. Amplify, source limiter. Let's bring it back. Background gain. Let's call that good right there. Let me see how it looks. Oh. That's a bit much, isn't it? I love it though. Okay, I think we're gonna bring it back a tiny bit. Let's call it good right there. Now let's take a look at what the bloom is doing. So not too much. You can kind of, I don't know. You might be able to see it, but it's very faint. So we're gonna bump this up a little bit. So amplify, let's try 50. And the fusion, bump that up a little bit. We'll bring up the highlights. Let's try a little bit more amplification, if you will. Okay. So in the mask, that looks like that should be affecting it quite a bit. Let's see how it looks. All right, I kind of dig that. Let's see before, after. Oh, that's kind of cool. That makes a neat little background. I kind of want to print this and use it for a backdrop for photos. That'd be pretty neat. Okay, before we okay everything, let's check the vignette. How's that look? Very subtle. I like it. Film grain. Let's see off. Honestly, I like it with the film grain off. I like all the halations, but I kind of really like seeing the detail in it. Almost the texture on these little tiles where the lights are, kind of give it a grainy vibe, if you will. Yeah, I dig that. We're gonna stick with that. Or you know what? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna put it at 10. Yeah, we'll call it good at 10. It's very, very subtle, but it makes a pretty good difference. I dig it. Hit okay. I'm gonna drag it over. So we have the after and the before. Oh, I dig it. All right. Let's yeah, that's great. Let's wrap this up. So real quick before we go into more detail, let's take a look at the finished photos now. Overall, it is a wonderful tool as far as getting a specific look goes. I really like that for someone like me who isn't necessarily interested in fine-tuning every little specific detail per se when it comes to like my personal stuff, but for client work, having all the options available to you are fantastic. Granted, you can just use it as, you know, a simple preset application, if you will, but you can also go into detail and fine tune as we did in some of these photos. We didn't go super heavy into detail, but I did a little bit of tweaking to get it to where I wanted to. If you want to try a Dehancer, I will link everything in the description to this video. If you decide you like it and you want to purchase it, there's different options available, but be sure to use the code BluesViolet to save 10% on whichever route you go. that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any other questions or anything like that. I will do my best to answer. Granted, I don't know every single minute detail of Dehancer for Photoshop and Lightroom, but I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things if you want. If you don't, I don't care. You do you. Good to go. Okay, bye.